A Nigerian graduate's NYSC journey, from excitement to endurance. The news hit like a jolt of electricity. Michael had been mobilized for the National Youth Service Course (NYSC). After years of academic struggles, assignments, and late-night readings, he was finally going to wear the prestigious khaki and serve his country. His eyes widened with joy when he saw his posting, Bayelsa State. The excitement was overwhelming. However, his joy was short-lived. The journey from Lagos to Bayelsa was nothing short of a nightmare. The bus ride was excruciatingly long, with multiple stops. To make matters worse, halfway through the journey, the bus broke down on a lonely stretch of road. The driver and some passengers tried to fix it, but after what felt like an eternity, they had to arrange another vehicle. By the time Michael arrived at Borough Town, it was well past midnight. Exhausted and frustrated, he dragged his heavy bags into camp, barely able to keep his eyes open. The next morning brought a new set of challenges: registration. The sun blazed mercilessly as course members formed impossibly long queues. It was then Michael realized he had forgotten to print some necessary documents. His heart sank. There was only one cyber cafe available, and the queue there was just as long as the registration lines. After several hours of waiting and running around, he finally completed his registration and received his NYSC kit. But his troubles didn't end there. Later that evening, he returned to his dormitory to find that some of his belongings had been stolen. His heart sank as he realized that his toiletries, a few clothes, and even his power bank were missing. It was a painful reminder that not everyone in camp was a friend. His first real shock in camp came at 4:30 a.m. the next day. The blaring sound of the bugle rudely pulled him from his deep sleep. "This must be a joke," he groaned, rolling over in bed, but a loud voice outside was already screaming, "Wake up, wake up." He stumbled out of his bed, barely aware of what was happening, and rushed to the parade ground with some soldiers shouting, "Double up, double up." Morning devotion was compulsory, followed by endless drills. The man or war team introduced them to different chants, but one stood out: cha-cha-ra-ka-cha, cha-cha-ra-ka-cha, jin-jin the body, jin-jin the body. It was so electrifying that even the sleepiest course members found themselves screaming along. Michael struggled to keep up with the camp's fast pace. He had never been an early riser, and the sudden shift was brutal. One morning, exhaustion got the best of him. His eyes drooped during parade, and before he knew it, he staggered forward, nearly collapsing. His friends burst into laughter, while a soldier barked, "Waka! Stand properly." That was just one of his many embarrassing moments in camp. During platoon assignments, course members were grouped based on the last digit of their state code. Michael landed in the prestigious Platoon 2. Each platoon was required to participate in various competitions, including cultural dance, drama, debates, football, and volleyball. But the highlights of camp were the beauty and fitness contest, Miss NYSC, Mr. Macho, Big Bold and Beautiful, and Miss Petite. The competitions were intense, with some platoons clearly outshining others. While some celebrated victories, others were bitter over what they saw as unfair judgments. The dreaded SAED, skills acquisition and entrepreneurship development, classes were another struggle. Designed to equip course members with vocational skills, the 5-hour sessions quickly became a sleeping marathon. The lectures were long and monotonous, and the heat made it worse. It wasn't uncommon to see heads nodding as course members surrendered to sleep. Some mischievous ones even took pictures and videos of their sleeping colleagues, sharing them in the camp's group chats to everyone's amusement. Camp life also had its social side. As the days passed, course members started forming bonds, some genuine friendships, others romantic relationships. It wasn't unusual to see people moving in pairs, whispering to each other during lectures or sharing meals at the Mami market. Some even joked that camp was a matchmaking ground. Despite the fun, discipline in camp was strict. Officials and soldiers ensured that rules were followed to the letter. One unforgettable rule was the rush to the pavilion for lectures or social nights. If you weren't fast enough, you'd end up sitting on the cold, dusty floor. It happened to Michael, and from that moment on, he never dared to arrive late again. As the days flew by, everyone eagerly counted down to the end of camp. Though it had been exhausting, frustrating, and, at times, ridiculous, it was also a unique experience. The friendships, the laughter, and even the struggles made it worthwhile. On the final day, Michael stood in front of his dormitory, staring at the now familiar surroundings. The once intimidating camp had become a place of growth and memories. As he packed his bags for the next phase of his NYSC journey, he knew one thing for certain: he would never forget his time in Borough Town, Bayelsa.